Members of the platform party, please take your seats. Good afternoon and welcome to the 26th Annual Scholars Day here at the University of Connecticut. My name is John Elliott and I serve as the interim provost. Today we are here to celebrate the academic excellence of 2,925 students who have indeed made their mark at UConn. We're so proud of their accomplishments, realized through their hard work and the will to succeed. It's also fitting to celebrate our scholars with family, friends, and the entire university community. We thank all of you for joining us today. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our administrative and academic leaders at the university. Where are we? We're starting here. Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Dr. John Mullen. Assistant Vice Provost for Enrichment Programs and Director of the Honors Program, Dr. Jennifer Lees. Associate Dean Dan Berkey, the School of Engineering. Our newest Dean, Dean Indrajit Shabri, College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources. Associate Dean Robin Coate, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Dean Nina Ravenelli Heller, School of Social Work. Executive Program Director James Hill, Academic Center for Exploratory Students. Dr. Andrea Hubbard, School of Pharmacy. Dean Gladys Kersaint, Neag School of Education. Associate Dean Deborah McDonald, School of Nursing. And Interim Dean David Souter, the School of Business. I thank all of them for their dedication to our organization and the leadership they've shown over the years. As many of you know, UConn is in the early phases of several leadership changes. We're grateful for the commitment that our current administration has shown to academic achievement and confident that the new president and our new deans will join in this shared vision of groundbreaking research, excellence in teaching, and committed service to the state of Connecticut and our world. Even as change brings new ideas, a core principle will always remain. We aspire to provide outstanding opportunities for our students that allow them to become scholars, researchers, and leaders in their chosen fields. I have no doubt that the students we are honoring today will continue to excel in these areas. It's now my pleasure to introduce one of those students, our student speaker, Erica Randazzo, who will share her remarks. Erica is a senior from Norwalk. She's pursuing a dual degree in physiology and neurobiology and pathobiology. She's a member of the special program in medicine and an active researcher in the laboratory of Dr. Joseph Laturco. She's characterizing the molecular and cellular aspects of a pediatric brain tumor known as supratentorial epidymoma. Eric is also an athlete on the UConn women's cross-country and track teams. She's served on the board for the special program in medicine and is an active member of the Pre-Medical Society. She's currently serving as president. She's volunteered with MedLife and the Invictus Tutoring Institute and has worked as a tutor for the Student Athlete Success Program for varsity athletes. After graduation, she intends to complete a research master's in Dr. Laturco's lab before producing, but also pursuing an MD and a PhD with the ultimate goal of becoming a sports orthopedic surgeon. In her spare time, she enjoys horseback riding, acrylic painting, and outdoor water sports such as wakeboarding and water skiing. Please join me in welcoming Erica to the podium.
Thank you. I'm going to talk to you all today about plants. Now, we're gathered here for this thing called a scholar's ceremony. But what is a scholar? When I first asked myself this question, I thought of old white guys with glasses. Philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle, and influential scientists like Newton and Einstein. And, in light of Women's History Month, Marie Curie and Rosalind Franklin. Plugging a bit further, I asked my friend Google, who said a scholar is a specialist in a particular branch of study, a distinguished academic. For a long time, I agreed with these notions and ideas. I thought academic achievement was synonymous with a successful academic transcript and impressive numbers circled atop an exam. A scholar was someone who had published several papers in a particular field of study, or was an expert on a subject, or had made some notable contribution to a field. But I'm here today to tell you that these notions are wrong. I apologize, Google, but I think your definition is ultimately incorrect. More specifically, it's lacking, limited, representative of only a mere fraction of what a scholar truly is. So what then is this thing I call a scholar? 4 years ago, my 18-year-old self would have told you that scholarship and academic achievement meant being smart. It was intelligence, knowing lots of stuff, and being good at school. I thought they were represented by 3 simple letters, GPA. And you might be sitting here thinking, yeah, that's exactly how academic achievement is assessed, and that's why I'm sitting here at this ceremony. But I'm here to shed light on the rest of what scholarship is. I have an older brother named Chris. We're 13 months apart in age and 2 years apart in school. Although physically close in age, we're also extremely close as friends. Growing up, he was essentially my role model. Anything he did, I had to verify to myself that I could do just as well. If he learned to ride a dirt bike, I learned to ride a dirt bike. If he did the half pipe on the ski mountain, I was right behind him, racing my way up each side. And if he jumped off the roof, I jumped off the roof. Not one of my wisest decisions. We were partners in crime, 2 peas in a pod, inseparable. I thought the world of my brother. It seemed as though there was nothing he couldn't do. Building the ultra-deluxe Star Wars battleship without instructions in under 2 hours, check. Rewiring a broken robot so our neighbor wouldn't know we destroyed his new toy, check. Coloring our noses with red Sharpies so my parents wouldn't know he fell off the treadmill and his nose was covered in blood. Okay, maybe that wasn't one of his brightest ideas, but you get the point. He was my role model, and I thought him one of the smartest people I'd ever met. Yet my brother struggled immensely all throughout middle and high school. He struggled with a learning disability that school systems failed to teach to accommodate to. His grades were far from what would deem academic achievement. And I felt guilty. School seemed easy to me. I was almost ashamed to bring home my perfect report cards. Why was I doing well, yet he was failing? To me, school was a simple formula. You got work, and you did it to the best of your ability. And combined with hard work, completion of this formula resulted in academic achievement. Over the course of my time at UConn, however, I've come to recognize what academic achievement and being a scholar really mean. Being a scholar is not synonymous with praise, noteworthy accomplishments and discoveries, or even a successful transcript. To be a scholar is not to be smart or intelligent or successful in school. To be a scholar is to be a thinker, a source of wisdom, and a teacher. Sure, at the surface, it seems we're all here today to celebrate the objective accomplishment of some number. But it's the force that brought you to that standard that I want you all to recognize. For some, It may have been pressure from parents. For others, it may be motivation to achieve a given career goal or to be in good standing for further schooling. But I implore you to explore and embrace a different passion. Standing here today, I see a scholar as one who is driven toward the attainment of knowledge for the sake of knowledge itself. Knowledge truly is a blessing millions of people worldwide are unable to access. A scholar is someone passionate about the attainment of knowledge for the sake of using such knowledge to better the world. A scholar is someone who wants to share their wealth of wisdom with others, to share their wealth as a means of impacting as many people as possible. By teaching and sharing with others, we better one another and ultimately humanity as a whole. Scholars strive for success for the contribution to and betterment of the greater good. Thus, I've come to see my brother as a scholar. Although his transcript may have been subpar from what we typically call academic achievement, he sought knowledge driven by his passion for knowledge itself. He independently rewired boat engines and built trinkets to enhance his car's fuel efficiency for the sake of deepening his understanding through application and striving to develop tools that could help his friends and family members. Moving forward, I encourage you not to write essays and complete assignments just to get them done. Instead, dig deeper and find a purpose in your work. Use it to better yourself for the overall betterment of humanity. While today we may be celebrating your accomplishments as measured by some GPA criteria, I encourage you all to continue your academic pursuits, fueling yourselves not with a drive to return again next year, or to maintain a successful GPA, or to get into medical school, but with a passion for knowledge and a drive to use that knowledge to help others and better the world. Now, I know I told you this was going to be a speech about plants, and you might be sitting here thinking, what the heck is she talking about? But this was really a speech about plants. You see, scholars are like plants. Like plants, scholars constantly seek to branch out and explore new avenues of knowledge to add to their personal libraries. Scholars, like plants, strive to spread their seeds to the environment around them to promote the growth of new scholars to build off of their knowledge and ultimately create better solutions to the problems surrounding humanity. So if you take one thing from this speech, let it be this. Scholarship is like a plant, constantly branching and growing, generating more and more oxygen for the sole betterment of those around it, and constantly stretching its roots, delving deeper into the unknown, making itself vulnerable for the attainment of deeper wisdom. As a growing scholar, stay true to your roots. Don't compare your intelligence to that of others, because the observable plant on the surface is only half the story. Academic achievement is not just measured by letters or test scores, rankings, or percentages. Scholarship is subjective. It's distinct to the individual. And as Albert Einstein himself once said, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. It's the ability to grow.
Appreciate that wisdom. My name is Jennifer Lee Sputz, and I'm delighted to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Cameron Faustman, professor and most recently interim dean of the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources here at UConn. His teaching is focused on the fundamental science associated with food quality, food preservation, and food safety. Dr. Faustman is recognized nationally and internationally for his work in agriculture, and his research is widely published. He lectures on his areas of expertise and has received many prestigious professional and teaching awards. Students, he is also, very proudly, a fellow Husky and graduated as a university scholar. So he's a fitting example of the places your UConn education can take you. He is currently on sabbatical at Harvard Law School, because that's what you do, right? On sabbatical, you go to Harvard Law School. He is studying food policy at their Food Policy and Law Center, and we're delighted that he has come back to Storrs today to be here with all of us and share his wisdom. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Cameron Faustman.
thank you, Jen, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to the New England and Babbage Scholars, and also congratulations to their families and friends who are here today to join them. Scholars Day has always been a favorite activity of mine. It celebrates academic diversity, really. It celebrates the fact that we have excellence achieved by this group of students, regardless of the department they're in, regardless of the major they have, regardless of the school or college. It crosses the entire university, and I think that's terrific. Now, strangely enough, I found some inspiration for my comments today in the recent college admissions scandal that's been a topic of extensive media coverage. There are many different facets of this topic that could be discussed, and my own feeling is that the scandal revealed a sad reality that was not, unfortunately, very surprising. However, it's also provided a nice opportunity for introspection, national introspection about higher education and its purpose. And it's allowed some of our best writers in the popular press to weigh in on that. And there's been some really great articles on this. And one of them was written in the March 14th edition of the Wall Street Journal by a Pulitzer Prize-winning writer, Peggy Noonan. And the title of this article is "Kids Don't Become Success Robots." And it really speaks to the closing comments that our student speaker just made. And it's worth a read. But what I really wanted to provide you with was a quote in that article, and here it is. "The purpose of an education is to enrich a mind, to help the young discover great thought, to teach history and science, to spur a sense of purpose and vocation." I agree. And I'd also contend, and this is the part that is relevant to this gathering today, is that your educational achievement is also a base by which to continue lifelong learning, formal and informal. Now, you heard that I'm a UConn grad, and at UConn I was fortunate to complete the majority of my undergraduate major requirements by halfway through my junior year. This was made possible because I had come to UConn, arrived here with some co-op credits. Today you know them as Early College Experience, or ECE credits. And I learned a really important thing by that point in my college career. I learned that it really didn't matter what course I took by its title, that what was far more important was the reputation of the teacher. A good teacher can make anything interesting. And I decided for all of my free space those last 3 semesters that I was going to take courses that were recommended to me by my peers because they had excellent teachers. And so that's how I found myself in a course whose single word title was "me." It's okay to laugh. The fact that a course with a one-word title, "me," was universally hailed as a great experience by my peers definitely generated curiosity. And that first food science course eventually led to my career in research and teaching concerned with the chemistry and microbiology of food. Another highly recommended course that I took was herpetology, the study of amphibians and reptiles. And in this course, besides learning about reptiles and amphibians, I learned how to be a writer. I would say that what I learned in that singular course about writing and how to become a better writer was more than I had learned in all the courses previous taken in college and high school combined. I learned to proofread, I learned to be succinct, and I learned to be a better interpreter of what others wrote. And there were no computers in those days. We typed things on typewriters, and if you made mistakes, you had all kinds of crazy ways to try and get rid of those mistakes so you didn't have to type the whole page again. You'd use razor blades to scratch it out. You'd use special erasers. If you were lucky and could afford it, they had this fancy stuff that was just coming out called whiteout tape. But there were no spell checkers. And I do think spell checkers are wonderful tools as long as they aren't a substitute for proofreading. They often attempt to predict an intended word, or to predict what the word was that the writer meant. And if the writer's not careful, they can end up blindly accepting a recommendation, which can lead to some unfortunate but humorous errors. About 20 years ago, this university sent out an email message to the entire university community. And it was a message that said, "We just want to let you know that the homecoming parade this weekend is going to be rerouted. This is because we have construction going on Stadium Road. And that means the homecoming parade is going to take this turn, that turn, go through this street and that street." And then acknowledging that people might have had plans that were going to now be altered. They proceeded to apologize for any incontinence that this might cause. Now, I believe the writer meant to use the word inconvenience. It would be hard to believe that rerouting a homecoming parade would cause such intestinal distress. But more to the point of your accomplishments, one of my favorite quotes is from Louis Pasteur. And he wrote, "Did you ever observe to whom the accidents happen? Chance favors only the prepared mind." The accidents referred to by Pasteur are those things that emerge as transformational learning moments. Your ability to take advantage of unanticipated opportunities is influenced by the framework that you've developed for accommodating the unexpected. This is relevant to both your personal and professional lives. So I encourage you to continue your pursuit of learning in the broadest sense throughout your life, and to keep your mind prepared. And I have 4 quick tidbits of advice. The first is for you to push the envelope. High achievers, believe it or not, often underestimate themselves. A majority tend to think that they aren't as good as they actually are. Don't underestimate your potential. Disciplinary expertise can only take one so far. Attitude and work effort are the characteristics that fuel tenacity and persistence. And risk and taking of calculated risk can really help you make some major steps forward. I would characterize myself as somewhat a risk-averse person. But one of the risks I took, and at the time it seemed like a big risk, was that my wife and I both had fine jobs after I graduated from UConn and she graduated from Southern. And we had a 6-month-old. And I decided one day, I think it'd be fun to go to graduate school. Let's quit our jobs, let's take this 6-month-old, the only grandchild on either side of the family, and let's move 1,000 miles away. And some of our family members thought we were probably a little crazy because we had, like I said, good jobs and sort of a good future going. But that was a risk that was calculated, and it was a risk that I look back on as being a very wise one for me to take. The second tidbit of advice is to learn by not only being a student, but also by performing as a teacher. Significant learning occurs when you teach. And you should embrace opportunities to teach, to tutor, to lead. A lot is made of the value of leadership positions, and rightfully so. Realize that good leaders are generally very good teachers. Thirdly, expand your future learning to areas outside of your vocation. Undertake an avocation that allows you to focus your mind in other ways, to rest, to relax, to help others. And allow yourself, and if necessary, force yourself to disengage from the digital world. This will make your life more interesting, and quite frankly, make you more interesting to others. Using myself as an example again, you've heard I'm sitting in on a law school, doing a sabbatical at law school, and I'm actually sitting in on a law school class. I have 0 legal training and really no formal policy training. But I'm there to try and understand the connection between policy and science, and I find the experience invigorating. With regards to avocation, I have a lot of outside interests. By far my favorite is fly fishing. There's always something new to learn. Standing in the middle of a river fishing with a fly requires a lot of focus, and it allows me to really forget about any problems I think I may have, and requires me to completely be in the moment. And that's a great way to relax, even though it's very active. My final piece of advice, and it's one that I've given to many students as they've departed UConn for jobs and their post-UConn careers, is to remember that a good job doesn't love you back. Engage in a community of family and friends and offer and enjoy the learning and support that they can provide. In closing, I'd like to note that it's fitting to honor your academic achievement at UConn because the university's purpose is to advance knowledge and to do so with excellence. A couple of months ago, I had cause to look up the top 10 Associated Press stories of 2018. Well, what I learned was not inspiring, nor was it unexpected. Most of these top 10 stories focused on the sad, the unfortunate, the controversial, and or the sensational. They included school shootings, the Russia probe, immigration policy challenges, the Kavanaugh Supreme Court nomination, the destruction of California by wildfires, the impacts of climate change, and murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. In short, the stories were depressing. Now, this event, Scholars Day, won't be picked up by the Associated Press, but it has, in our short time together, sincerely brought me, and I hope all of you in attendance, some joy. It is is a privilege and a joy to recognize scholarly excellence, because that is what a university stands for. It is nothing but good news. And good news is something that we do not spend enough time celebrating. So in the years ahead, whatever you choose to do, please do it with the same purpose and commitment that qualified you to be honored as New England and Babbage Scholars here today. And keep learning, because chance favors the prepared mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. I'm conscious of the fact that we've heard about plants and we've heard about meat. I want to recognize important members of our university community. And as Cameron pointed out, these are the people who guide us, teach us, and from whom we learn. Our administrators, professors, and advisors. They've been dedicated to helping you, our students, achieve your academic success. Could I ask them to please rise and accept our appreciation? I now invite Dr. John Mullen, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, to the podium to present our New England Scholars. John?
Thank you, John. Also, thank you, both Erica and Cameron, for those words. A young scholar spoke incredibly well, and Cameron, who has been, as you heard, an incredible scholar over the years. And I just kind of want to point out, because I think he's one of the most modest people I've ever met. Cameron has been in leadership roles at UConn for 18 years. He's been department head in the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources, all 3 associate deans at one time or another, and then the interim dean. And all the while, these are very demanding jobs, but all the while he had also still taught, still did his research, and he really was an incredible example of a scholar. And so thank you again for that. So we're very proud of our New England scholars who have earned a minimum of a 3.7 GPA for both spring and fall semesters of this last calendar year. This represents a select 12.3% of our undergraduate students. And as I call each of the schools and colleges, I ask the deans and the New England scholars to stand and be recognized. Dean Indrajit Chaubey and the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources. Students, please rise. We have 210 students that earned this recognition. In this next group, we have 397 students that have earned this designation, and that is with Interim Dean David Sauter and the School of Business students. Will you please stand? Dean Gladys Kersaint and the Neag School of Education students, please stand. We have 64 students that are Associate Dean Dan Berkey and the School of Engineering students, please stand. We have 354 students. Dean Ann DeLeva, and 96 students from the School of Fine Arts. Please stand. Associate Dean Robin Cote, and 980 students from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Please stand. Next designation, we have 22 two students, and I'm asking Interim Dean David Sauter and Associate Dean Dan Berkey to please stand. These are our Management and Engineering for Manufacturing students. Associate Dean Deborah McDonald, and 107 students of the School of Nursing, please stand. Dr. Andrea Hubbard and 31 students from the School of Pharmacy, please stand. And this next one, this last year, we started a new undergraduate program in the School of Social Work. So Dean Nina Rovanelli-Heller, please stand, and one student has earned this designation. Director James Hill, and 64 students from the Academic Center for Exploratory Students that have earned this designation, please stand. Director James Hill again, and now for our Bachelor of General Studies students, we have 3 students. Will you please stand? Will all the New England Scholars please stand and be recognized? Let's give the 2018 New England Scholars. Congratulations. Dr. Jen Lee Sputz will now present the 2018 Babbage Scholars.
Thank you, Vice Provost Mullen. 588 students are being recognized for earning a perfect 4.0 grade point average for both spring and fall semesters in the calendar year of 2018. This award is named for Homer Babbage, president of the university from 1962 to 1972. I will read each 2018 Babbage Scholar's name and hometown. I will also note students who have won the award more than once. The dean or representative from each school or college will come forward to present their scholars with gifts. Babbage Scholars from the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources, please stand and proceed to the stage. They have to see how well they do this. Interim Provost John Elliott will also be shaking hands and greeting the students. Jacob McCook from Monterey, Massachusetts, Diagnostic Genetic Sciences. I forgot to mention hold your applause. So hold your applause, and I will cue you when to applaud the whole school or college, okay? I promise, I won't let you forget. Prathisa Amantha, Manchester, New Hampshire, Allied Health. Abigail Hatch, Barnstable, Massachusetts, Animal Science, Pre-Vet. Christina Mosica, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, New Jersey, Animal Science, Pre-Vet. I've got plants on the brain. All right. Kristen Schubert, Southington, Connecticut, Allied Health Sciences. Shaylin Dutton, Greenwich, Connecticut, Allied Health Sciences. Catherine Crawley, Washingtonville, New York, Allied Health Sciences. Jessica Seltz, Tingsboro, Massachusetts, Nutritional Sciences, 3rd time Babbage Scholar. Laura Furtok, Southington, Connecticut, Animal Science. Marissa Matarazzo, Southington, Connecticut, Animal Science. Bethany Pilon, Farmington, Connecticut, Animal Science. Marissa DeCruz, Stratford, Connecticut, Allied Health Science, second-time Babbage Scholar. Weston Henry, Mansfield Center, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology and Landscape Architecture. Lauren Ingalls, Newtown, Connecticut, Animal Science. Please congratulate the students from the College of Agriculture and Health and Natural Resources. Thank you, Dean Chalvey. Next, I present the Babbage Scholars from the School of Business. Ali Tawil, New Milford, Connecticut, Finance. Runqi Yang, Beijing, China, Management. Yingqi Liu, Jilin, China, Management. Molly Kiefer, Glastonbury, Connecticut, Accounting. Olivia Hanisch, New Fairfield, Connecticut, Accounting. Vaishali Kanamala, Danbury, Connecticut, Finance. Emily Robertson, Ridgefield, Connecticut, Marketing, second-time Babbage Scholar. Chin Fan, Danbury, Connecticut, Accounting. Elena Kunst, Yonkers, New York, Marketing with a concentration in digital marketing and analytics. Michaela Bossi, Bristol, Connecticut, Finance. Kaylee McManaman, Tallinn, Connecticut, Accounting. Stephen Tiberio, Shelton, Connecticut, Management Information Systems. Luke Stanislawski, Killingly, Connecticut, Finance. Angelo DeMonico, Hamden, Connecticut, Finance, second-time Babbage Scholar. Zital Zhang, Beijing, China, Real Estate. Evan Seibart, Norwalk, Connecticut, Finance. Morgan Van Loo, Montgomery, New Jersey, Finance, second-time Babbage Scholar. Bradley Papp, Stamford, Connecticut, Accounting. Shane Young, South Windsor, Connecticut, Finance and Economics. Addie Lotito, Rentham, Massachusetts, Marketing. Margot Astorino, Easton, Connecticut, Management. Elizabeth Dowds, Waterford, Connecticut, Finance, second-time Babbage Scholar. Param Patel, Norwalk, Connecticut, Finance. Dominika Lihomska, Stamford, Connecticut, Management Information Systems. Adam Haythorne, East Hartford, Connecticut, Marketing. Sean Homa, Fairfield, Finance, third-time Babbage Scholar. Kaylin Tennis, Granby, Connecticut, Management. Benjamin Morneau, Windsor, Connecticut, Management, third-time Babbage Scholar. Louis Clevis, Norwalk, Connecticut, Management Information Systems. Serena Gersten, Danbury, Connecticut, Accounting. Kyle Tasai, Trumbull, Connecticut, Finance, second-time Babbage Scholar. Grace Gerton, North Attleboro, Massachusetts, Management, second-time Babbage Scholar. Kristen Teskey, Clinton, Connecticut, Finance, third-time Babbage Scholar. Nevada Natchiappan, Avon, Connecticut, Healthcare Management. James D'Amico, Essex, Connecticut, Accounting. Orkin Olgak, Stores, Healthcare Management. Please congratulate the Babbage Scholars from the School of Business. Next, I present the Babbage Scholars from the School of Engineering. We'll let Dean Berkey make the long trek. Associate. I promoted him. He's all right. All right. Katriana Hersey, Avon, Connecticut, Biomedical Engineering. Allison March, Delran, New Jersey, Biomedical Engineering, third-time Babbage Scholar. Robert Bailey, East Hampton, Connecticut, Electrical Engineering. Dawson Hetrick, Middlefield, Connecticut, Biomedical Engineering. Frank Magnat, New Milford, Connecticut, Electrical Engineering. Jesse Raston, Southington, Connecticut, Computer Science and Engineering. Allison Main, Beacon Falls, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Neil Chamberlain, Ellington, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Emily Franklin, Simsbury, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Ethan Comiskey, Glastonbury, Connecticut, Civil Engineering. John Peterson, Old Lyme, Connecticut, Chemical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Emily Macheski, Southington, Connecticut, Computer Science and Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Michael Maceda Jr., Watertown, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Christian Corwell, Oxford, Connecticut, Electrical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Joseph Lee, Storrs, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Jillian Sherpa, Agawam, Massachusetts, Mechanical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Kevin Snyder, Glastonbury, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Brianna Mancuso, New Fairfield, Connecticut, Chemical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Michael Schaefer, Southborough, Massachusetts, Chemical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Joseph Zavorskis, Southington, Connecticut, Chemical Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Michael Sotzing, Storrs, Connecticut, Mechanical Engineering. Giovanna Fusco, New Milford, Connecticut, Civil Engineering, second-time Babbage Scholar. Nicholas B. Roche, Cheshire, Connecticut, Civil Engineering and German. Congratulations to the Babbage Scholars from the School of Engineering. Next, I have Babbage Scholars from the School of Education. Samantha Card, Scotland, Connecticut, Music Education. Abigail Forsyth, Hebron, Connecticut, Elementary Education. Kim Urbanek, Lannerstadt, Germany, Sport Management. Emma Ulrich, Manchester, Connecticut, elementary education. Damayanti Reina Castrodad, Mystic, Connecticut, elementary education. Congratulations to the students from the School of Education. Next, I present the Babbage Scholars from the School of Fine Arts. Corliss Fraga, Woodstock, Connecticut, Digital Media and Design. Second time Babbage Scholar. Sarah Shattuck, Stamford, Connecticut, Digital Media and Design. Nicole Mason, Guilford, Connecticut, Digital Media and Design. Lauren Chula, Trumbull, Connecticut, Digital Media and Design, second time Babbage Scholar. Cheryl Wang, Ellington, Connecticut, Digital Media and Design. Rebecca Rosen, Tenafly, New Jersey, Digital Media and Design. Congratulations to the students from the School of Fine Arts. Next, I present Babbage Scholars from the School of Nursing. Nicholas Sturgis, Tallinn, Connecticut, Nursing, second time Babbage Scholar. Sarah Innes, Watertown, Connecticut, Nursing. Sarah Harkins, East Haven, Connecticut, Nursing, second time Babbage Scholar. Hannah Bazile, South Windsor, Connecticut, Nursing, second time Babbage Scholar. Turner Bully, Tallinn, Connecticut, second time Babbage Scholar in Nursing. Sarah Todd, Torrington, Connecticut, Nursing, third time Babbage Scholar. Congratulations to the students from the School of Nursing. Next are our Babbage Scholars from the Academic Center for Exploratory Students. Alexandria Liberno, Farmington, Connecticut, elementary education. That's right, because that's where we are. Sorry about that. Spencer Lowe, Topsfield, Massachusetts, computational neuroscience. I think these are future majors. That's why these are aces, yes. Danielle Costa, Stratford, Connecticut, elementary education. Congratulations to our students from ACES. Next, we have the Babbage Scholars from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Natasha Patel, Farmington, Connecticut, molecular and cell biology. Samantha Bird, Thomaston, Connecticut, biology. Dylan Gaffney, New Fairfield, Connecticut, history and political science. Christopher Dwy, Naugatuck, Connecticut, psychology. Caitlin Tarbox, Ellington, Connecticut, psychology. Olivia Listoken, New York City, New York, physiology and neurobiology and philosophy. Lily Zong, East Lyme, Connecticut, physiology and neurobiology. Gregorio Corsale, Shelton, Connecticut, psychology. Cameron O'Connor, Chester, Connecticut, physiology and neurobiology. Megan Civitello, Middlebury, Connecticut, biological sciences. Sarah Schechter, Danbury, Connecticut, environmental studies and anthropology. Jillian Stockley, Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. Brian Aguilera, Deerfield Beach, Florida, Molecular and Cell Biology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Cullen Farragher, Upton, Massachusetts, Physiology and Neurobiology and Spanish. Christopher Allen, Burlington, Connecticut, Biology, third-time Babbage Scholar. Michael Taylor, Roxbury, Connecticut, Biological Sciences. Emily Risco, Queens, New York, Psychology. Alyssa Angel McKenzie, East Haddam, Connecticut, Linguistics, Psychology. Tyler DeBrino, North Stonington, Connecticut, Economics, second-time Babbage Scholar. Jane Yeloff, Glastonbury, Connecticut, English and Education. Paulina Schligersky, Newington, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology. Emily Sheriff, Livingston, New Jersey, Communications and Human Development and Family Studies. Catherine Sabiliga, Rockfall, Connecticut, English. Alexandra Florence, Bolton, Connecticut, Psychology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Sarah Morey, Canaan, Connecticut, Human Development and Family Studies. Matthew Bonvicini, Orange, Connecticut, Psychology. Dylan Feldmeyer, Oxford, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology and Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Nicholas Martin, Avon, Connecticut, Cognitive Sciences. Samantha White, Madison, New Jersey, English and English Education. Mark Johnson, Tallinn, Connecticut, Chemistry and Physics, second-time Babbage Scholar. Ashley Baldelli, Manorville, New York, Actuarial Science. Hannah Tyler, Summers, Connecticut, Psychology. Amanda Blazka, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Human Development and Family Studies, second-time Babbage Scholar. Madison Gates, Enumclaw, Washington, Communications. Fiza Alam, Waterbury, Political Science and Economics. Paige Vidal, North Attleboro, Massachusetts, Psychological Sciences, second-time Babbage Scholar. Emily O'Hara, Litchfield, Connecticut, Political Science and English, second-time Babbage Scholar. Rachel Harbert, Goshen, Connecticut, Psychology. Stephanie Santillo, Wallingford, Connecticut, English and Mathematics, second-time Babbage Scholar. Calliope Sanderson, Glastonbury, Connecticut, Psychological Sciences. Samia Sheikh, East Hartford, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology. Jamie Georgelis, Milford, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Casey Macedo, Norwalk, Connecticut, Human Development and Family Studies and Psychology. Justin Slifer, Cromwell, Connecticut, Mathematics and Statistics. Craig Mendoza, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Physiology and Neurobiology and Molecular and Cell Biology, third-time New England Scholar. Anthony Barbino, Waterbury, Connecticut, Physiology and Neurobiology. Kira Kabulis, Brookfield, Connecticut, French and Francophone Studies. Aaron Jackson, Milford, Connecticut, English, second-time Babbage Scholar. Shristi Sadir, Londonderry, New Hampshire, Anthropology and Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Sahil Lal, Rocky Hill, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology and an individualized major in Global Health. Hannah Curran, Litchfield, Connecticut, Environmental Studies and English. Alexandra Scheibel, Shelton, Connecticut, Psychology and Human Development and Family Studies. Jory Hauk, Hopewell, Pennsylvania, Political Science and Communication, second-time Babbage Scholar. Veronica Eskander, Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Physiology and Neurobiology. Amur Kaleria, Milford, Connecticut, Physiology and Neurobiology. John Lovren, Boxborough, Massachusetts, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Aria Jacob, Newington, Connecticut, Biology and Psychology. Eric Mohan, West Hartford, Connecticut, Chemistry. Yulia Bragina, Willimantic, Connecticut, Economics. Marissa Masick, Beacon Falls, Connecticut, English and Secondary English Education. Fiona Losky, East Granby, Connecticut, Biology. Emma Kelly, Bristol, Connecticut, Math and Chemistry. Yeah! Adrian Gibson, Storrs, Connecticut, Spanish and Electrical Engineering. Jessica Weaver, Newington, Connecticut, Political Science, second-time Babbage Scholar. Leanne Clark, Wallingford, Connecticut, Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences. Madison Levine, Lexington, Massachusetts, Biology and Biology Education. Caroline Hebert, Taunton, Massachusetts, Speech, Language, and Hearing Sciences and Cognitive Sciences. Kelsey Hebert, Taunton, Massachusetts, Molecular and Cell Biology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Marina LaJoy, Enfield, Connecticut, Cognitive Science and Speech, Language, and Hearing Science. Peter Coons, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Actuarial Science. Kwaiku Jesse, Bronx, New York, Communications. Avi Patel, Fremont, California, Individualized Major in Health, Medicine, and Society, and Molecular and Cell Biology. Alexandra Gruner, Trumbull, Connecticut, English and Human Rights, second-time Babbage Scholar. Samantha Staffen, Chester, Massachusetts, Urban and Community Studies, second-time Babbage Scholar. Alyssa Sullivan, Madison, Connecticut, Human Development and Family Studies. Emmeline Leckie, Middletown, Connecticut, Psychological Sciences and Biological Sciences. Joanna Mallory, Sterling, Massachusetts, Psychology and Spanish. Sam Cutler, Suffield, Connecticut, Physics and Mathematics, second-time Babbage Scholar. Marissa Infante, Monroe, Connecticut, Economics and Psychology, second-time Babbage Scholar. Nicholas Bennett, Ellington, Connecticut, Psychology and Human Development and Family Studies. James Hyde, Woodbridge, Connecticut, Molecular and Cell Biology. And last but not least, Erica Randazzo, a dual degree in physiology and neurobiology and pathobiology from Norwalk, Connecticut, third-time Babbage Scholar. Let's have a very large round of applause. Congratulations to all of our Babbage Scholars.
Thank you again for joining us today. Our students have indeed enhanced the quality and reputation of UConn and bring great credit upon themselves and their families. Congratulations again to this year's Babbage and New England Scholars. Before we close the ceremony, I would like to extend a special thanks to the Honors Program staff and the University Events and Conference Services staff for their leadership in coordinating today's Scholars Day celebration. They have done a terrific job ensuring that our students are recognized for their hard work, so thank you.